everybody, it's Greg again from Heck Yeah, You Can Cook. Today you are going to make a wholesome, savory chicken pot dish. It's going to have potatoes, it's going to have scallions, it's going to have carrots, it's going to have apples in it. Very flavorful, wonderful midweek meal. You can make this on the stovetop when you get home. It can be done actually on the weekend and you can store it later. It makes a great something to take to somebody who may be shut in. Great for these cold days that we're having here in Eastern North Carolina in the middle of January. We hope that you enjoy. You can do it. While I've got everybody's attention, please like, share, and subscribe. We love getting new subscribers every day. Please check us out on all the social medias. And we even have a Facebook group under Heck Yeah, You Can Cook, so join us there. Today's tools you're going to need. You're going to need a fillet knife. You're going to be working with some chicken breast. You're going to need a kitchen knife to do some chopping with. You're going to need a wooden spoon/spatula to do some stirring and mixing with, and some tongs to handle the chicken with as you're cooking. Also, I've got my chef's pot here. You can use a stock pot for this, or maybe even a wok. It'd be a little harder than a wok because of the surface area for the cooking, but that would work. So you can use that as well. Ingredients today, now I've got 1.5 pounds of chicken breast right here. And what I've done is a whole chicken breast. I cut it in half and then I quartered it. So this is a quartered chicken breast. Boneless, skinless is probably about 6 or 7 ounce per piece. And that means this will serve 4 people or 2 people like me. Okay, I've got a little over a pound of potatoes here that I have cubed. And we're going to show that in a method in a minute. You don't want them to be too big because this is a quicker cooked dish. Not going to for a very long period of time. It's going to be less than 40 minutes. And so I want them a certain size. I'm going to show how I cut that in just a minute. I've got 1 apple here. This happens to be a red gala apple. You can use any apple. It adds fragrances to it. It adds sweetness to the dish. And it's just 1 apple. Leave the skin on. I've always liked to leave the skin on. I've got 1 shallot chopped and minced, anything else. And I've got a pound of carrots. These are those little carrots, those little baby carrots you get. Yeah, you don't have to do anything but open the bag, those things. I've got some olive oil here that we're going to use to get the dish started. I've got some agave. We're going to add just a second. And the star of the show, in my opinion, is I got 2 tablespoons of Badia Sazon Tropical. This one, they've taken the MSG out, so it's a lot healthier than it used to be. But this is a great, great seasoning. Find it at your local grocer. It's usually in the international section. And it adds so much flavor to this dish. I use it in this and a lot of other things, but it's in the international section by Badia. And of course, you can find it online if you'd like. To kind of show, and only one thing I'm going to show prepping here, is that when we have the potatoes, what I like to do is I make sure you cut it in the medallions first. Not that thick. And then we come across. And that's about it. You cut them in half. The medallion, I usually do 2 or 3 at a time. Medallion, medallion, cut in half. These will shrink a little bit as they're cooking. Separate them for yourself there. And right in. Here, we're going to take the Sazon and we're going to just simply sprinkle the top of the chicken. This will be going in last. It'll give it a little time to work itself in. I will say this is an orangish type of dish. As you're sprinkling, you want to wash your hands frequently. We touch the chicken anyway, so we want to do that. But you're going to want to wash your hands frequently here, or they will be orange all day. I'm going to move to the stove top now. We're going to 3 minutes under a low medium heat. And then we'll introduce our ingredients and cook this down. Thanks, everyone. Now we've heated our pan for a little bit. Got it up to temperature. We're going to add at this time olive oil, just to count. I like to add the shallots first. Ooh, left a little. Get over there. And the apples. Stir this around. I like the flavor of apples and shallots together. Just for some reason works for me. Hope you like it too. We're going to do this for about 2 minutes, stirring frequently. Now that we've had 2 minutes go by, I add the carrots. I add the potatoes. And I sprinkle in about half of what you have left of the Sazon. Now Sazon is pretty good stuff, but it's also powerful. You got to make sure you don't put too much in. We're going to stir this. Get it well coated. Turn the heat down to I would say almost a low, not quite all the way low. My knob says 2 and then the word low, so I usually go to the number 2 here. We're going to cover this. We're going to let it cook for 5 minutes. We're going to stir it and then cook it another 5 and check the tenderness of the potatoes and carrots. We're approaching that 5-minute mark. Just make sure you kind of stay over it, listen. You can hear right now, it's still steaming. You want that sound. You don't want to smell anything that may be burning or anything like that. You want to make sure this is cooking in its own juices and softening as it goes along. All right, 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes has gone by. Stir this thing up. Heck yeah. Oh, sticking on the bottom, just kind of work through it. All right, we're going to put the lid back on and go another 5 or 6 minutes and check the doneness of the potatoes and the carrots at that point. Now I said we're going to test this, so one thing I use is my tongs or my chef's knife. You can use a fork if you like to see how quickly we can push through these potatoes and carrots. I like the tongs because I squeeze the carrot, it pops. Then I know it's ready for the chicken to be added. It'll be perfect when it comes out with the dish. So we're not looking for this to be all the way done, just really softened, because the chicken in this environment will cook very quickly. Okay, another 5 minutes has gone by. Your house is starting to fill with this aroma. Scrape off the bottom. It starts to get a little bit. I want to turn it down just a little bit, which is what I'm doing here. Run your nice heavy wooden spatulas to the bottom. See all the flavors, the colors. Now we're going to test and see how done some of these pieces are. Got a nice piece right there. I'll start squeezing it with my tongs. Still a little firm. See what the knife push test does? Starting to go into it pretty easily there. So that's about what you're looking for. Let's see if the carrot breaks. We don't want it to break. We want it to still be firm. And do the knife test. Should be able to go into it. See how it's easy? You're not really pushing too hard. That means we're getting what we want, because the chicken's going to cook in here too. So now we've gotten that. We scrape the bottom nice and clean off. Clean off. You didn't take the bottom of the pan off. You scraped it. It's full of jokes today. I didn't know. Isn't that pretty, folks? Now we're going to reintroduce our chicken. Set it on top just to start with. It's already seasoned. If you don't use all 2 tablespoons, that's fine. I try not to touch the seasoning too much because it will stain you. And now, work the chicken in a little bit. Some people may want to sear the chicken. I don't like that. I like the chicken to absorb all these flavors in here. Turn it over, get in there good. We're going to cover. We're going to let that go. Now I've turned it all the way to low. Worked up a lot of heat in that cast iron. Adjust accordingly. And now we're going to come back and check it in about 7 minutes. So you've not done a whole lot of work here. Let the pot do the work for you. We'll be back in 7. Okay guys, we're getting close to checking it. This time, bring over your Agave Nectar. I'll be using that in just a second. And something I forgot to mention is a tool. probe thermometer. We're going to be looking for 165. You always want to have a probe thermometer when you're cooking, especially with chicken. Okay, we have allowed 7 minutes to go by. I get in here and I kind of just turn the chicken over. That seasoning has worked its way in. Now this is not a hot seasoning, so you're going to be adding flavor without all the heat. Now, let's check the temperature of the chicken. It's like right where I want to be, in that 115 to 116 range. This one's cooking a little quicker. 136. 118. So, you got one that's cooking a little quicker. What you want to do is kind of pull it to the side a little bit. We don't want it to get too done while everything else is going on. Potatoes. Let's do another potato check. See if I can squeeze that one. Yes. See how it's starting to chunk out with a little bit of pressure? It'll be al dente by the time we're finished. If you want to add a bay leaf to this, you can. What I like to do, some people like bay leaves, it's a good dish for that. I take this agave and I hit the chicken with it. Then a little bit around the vegetables. I don't stir, we're going to let that cook in. We're going to cover that lid, we're going to check again in 4 minutes. Folks, let another 4 minutes go by. This chicken does cook differently. Your recipe may be a little different. At this point, just kind of get it to 165. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. And if it's not, you got to continue to cook. We increase the heat a little bit, try to make that goal. See what we got here. There it is, 169, still climbing. Good. So we'll turn the heat down here. Scrape the bottom off. Now the carrots, you see how they're softened. Take a carrot right there. Go right through it. Al dente. Now to plate this, it does make a lovely plate. Take a few of the potatoes and carrots. Take your chicken breast. Set it right on top. And then layer it with the potatoes. There you go, folks. Savory potato and carrot chicken meal. Cooked with some Sazon seasoning right there on your stovetop. Just a little bit of effort. Pot does the rest. Everyone, I'm going to serve this with some green beans. You can serve it whatever you want to. Everyone have a great day.